Oh my God, we're live.
Oh my God, it worked. We didn't implode.
Hello and welcome to the first ever live stream CF3 Partycast. We're talking about the movie Overboard from 1987. I'm Dane Michael.
And I am Jeff Johnson. And we don't know who that Yahoo is over there, so.
Wait, I know you. You're that greasy podcaster. Dames Marvs, what are you drinking today in celebration of this?
High life for the
high
life.
life.
You know what? If it's good enough for Bad Billy Pratt, it's good enough for me. I'm back in the high life again. I don't know the rest of the words, but another guy who sings improv does. His name is Matt Geiler. He is a improv comedian. He's a musician. He's an actor. He's a children's book author. Pretty much you're like a James Franco, but people like you. So
Yeah.
So Matt,
Yeah,
welcome to the show and thank you for joining us. How are things going, first of all?
Great. Super thrilled to be alive and even more ecstatic to be part of this group that's celebrating such a fantastic film.
Awesome. And you joined us first for Big Trouble in Little China, one of our very early episodes. So we decided to throw another curveball at you.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's my specialty, hitting the curveballs.
Okay, I'm bringing on Dana Danielle from a sister show upcoming for Project Nerd, and that is Murder, She Joked, and really looking forward to it. This is a podcast, and my understanding is you are getting ready to potentially convert this to video. Dana, is that true?
No.
I
don't know who said that. Oh, guys,
Put
I
on
need
the
to get
spot.
working.
Wait, you have a StreamYard. You share a StreamYard page with us.
We do. We maybe will release our video recordings, but it's primarily an audio podcast.
Well, I will not pressure you to be on camera because you know it's hard to look this good all the time.
I know. I had to put on makeup for this. It's not my normal.
But you also put on your donning Goldie's or Joe's or Annie's robe, I guess I should say.
Well,
and I love it.
My husband's hamper, still wrinkly and still smelly. Thought it would be the most accurate.
Love it.
All right. Next up, we've got Jessica Hotman, a star of Roseblood, Friday the 13th fan film. You joined us recently for an interview about that, and you did tell us that you loved Overboard, so we are happy to welcome you back.
Thank you for having me. I have a strawberry bubbly today in honor of Goldie Hawn's strawberry birthmark. So.
Yes.
All right.
Ooh.
All right.
Nice.
Jeff's going to show us his. It's in the same place later on.
Oh, good. That'll bring the streamers in, you know?
Yes.
Hey, they don't call us Sweet Cheeks for nothing.
Next up, we've got, she first joined us actually for a hilarious episode of Little Shop of Horrors. This is Melissa Jo Murphy, star of IDS Trilogy. And if you do not know what IDS stands for, I cannot
You need to look it up.
Yeah, we censored on here.
No,
Nope.
this is TVMA.
Ooh.
We don't see the logo anywhere, Dane.
That means not rated.
Um,
TVNR.
I don't have that. All I have is
You got a
this.
Mountain Dew that she's making.
Party.
Well, thanks for joining us for another episode and for our first video Partycast live stream. This is awesome. And I'm going to bring in Steve Fodor.
Dane, how many people did you invite to this party, Dane? You all have to get on the bus. Get on the bus. Here, how many M&Ms do you like? That's 4 M&Ms, 4 M&Ms. All right, the next one. Next sandwich. All right, next sandwich. Oh my God, the bread's going everywhere. There's sandwiches everywhere. How many people did you invite to this party, Dane?
I was just about to mention that you're the host of Sandwiches at Irregular Hours podcast, and
right.
you're
Well, it's
actually
an irregular
dealing
hour.
with sandwiches.
8:05 on a Thursday night. That's a pretty irregular hour, Dane. I'm making sandwiches, and how many M&Ms do you put into a lunch bag? 4 M&Ms, 5 M&Ms?
3.
I don't even know how to make sandwiches. There's 3 M&Ms per bag. All right, good to know. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
And finally, joining us from a bar in Tampa, Florida,
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Min Chen of AMC's Comic Book Man.
Oh, my
Hi,
love.
Thank you, guys. You guys are shared universe alumni. You've been in our podcast studio, and yes, I have drunk people here, so yes, it is.
Is that
Say hello
Liv
to Gavin
Schreiber?
from Boston? It is. Yes, it is. Liev Schreiber, everybody. It was Schreiber. And
Did
thank
you
you
guess
for the
Mitch
honor.
Hedberg? Did you guess?
Back from the dead.
Yes, it's a huge honor being here. I try to get my septic on as well. The man loves the movie Overboard, but I mean, I almost love it as much as he does, and I can't wait to talk about this.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, we're glad to have you here. And in the interest of time, let's go ahead and start with one of the first things we like to do, which is have Jeff read the synopsis, or sometimes he memorizes it and recites it like a Shakespearean actor. So what do you got for us this time?
Not Shakespeare tonight, but Joanna hires a country carpenter, Dean, to build a closet on her yacht. It's got to be cedar. It can't be oak. But when the two don't see eye to eye on that difference, Dean is left an unpaid carpenter and thrown overboard when Joanna sets sail. The following day, Joanna is fished out of the sea after falling overboard herself, but suffers from amnesia. Dean sees a neat way to regain the money she owes him. She's now his wife, and Dean gets a free housekeeper with his 4 hell-bent children. And this is Overboard, starring Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. All right, everybody, do you think this movie could be made today and get away with the same thing?
I'm a short, fat slut?
Boy, you're so tacky. Oh.
They made it in like 2017, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Hannah Faris and whoever
They
else.
had to reverse the roles because it's today.
Is that what they did? I didn't
They
actually
did.
watch it.
They did.
I like to hate on that movie without having seen it, even though I like
I've never seen it.
I'm in that same boat. I really like her too, and I like a lot of the stuff that she's in. But I did see the movie, and it wasn't hitting it.
They missed the boat, so to speak.
Missed that boat. My
Nice.
pencil boat. That's what I got.
I will say I couldn't get over the kidnapping plot and believe it was a rom-com. Like, the chemistry between Kurt and Goldie was phenomenal, but I just, in the back of my mind, was like, this is very creepy.
Yeah.
Well, so there's one part I think that creeps a lot of people out, and it's like the first night there when he kind of jumps into the bed. But
Yeah.
then I feel like, I don't know, I never thought about it back then. Obviously, I was a little kid watching it, but so you don't ever get over it personally?
No, I didn't. It was always there. But I also was conflicted because I love watching them fall in love, and obviously they're together in real life and their chemistry is super fun to watch. But I always put myself in the shoes of whoever the main character is, and I was like, I would feel so violated if this was me, if I was, Joanna. And so, I couldn't let that go.
She's
Doesn't
right.
help that they're
Kidnapping and abduction
common
is probably
law.
not the best way to find love.
I feel like if Kurt Russell wasn't as charming, this movie would be totally different. Like, if he was just a creeper the whole time, everyone would be like, yeah, this is totally creepy and weird. But
But isn't it like
charming?
rom-coms?
Yeah.
Essentially,
I feel like
in a
most
nutshell.
rom-coms could be like,
If they weren't super handsome and charming, and you just like change the character a bit, it just becomes like, oh, okay, it's a horror movie now.
yeah, exactly. Like, there's just splitting hairs there, like horror, rom-com,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Same tips.
Zippity down, zippity yay. My,
It's a Stockholm
I
syndrome.
got a wonderful slave.
Stockholm syndrome.
Wow, 1987. That's
Yo.
really cringy.
Yeah.
But so
Even
much
80
of it
sensibilities
is, though.
cringed at that.
Yeah. like I think we watched Ladybugs the other night and haven't seen it in forever, and I just have all these fun memories of being like, oh yeah, it's got to be a funny movie, and I sat down and was like, oh wow, okay, then they went there, okay, we're joking about this now, cool.
13 or 14-year-old Hillary Swank.
Yeah.
Sex jokes.
Yeah, a lot of. Or like they go into the dressing room, the dad with the guy, and he's like helping the son get dressed or whatever, but it's insinuating like this old lady and her daughter are sitting there hearing him like, ow, that hurts, that's too hard, or like things like that. I was like, oh, I thought this was like a kids movie kind of. We're going there. Sure. Yeah.
Once we accept the premise that she's a bitch and deserves it, then what do you enjoy most about this movie?
I was gonna say that probably helps a little bit.
I think there's a lot of really good like throwaway lines as I was trying to like pick my favorite line from the movie. There's just so many like little jokes thrown in there that like I just kept laughing out loud, which is rare nowadays, but it really was a funny movie.
Okay, Dana, so what did you land on as one of your favorite lines?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, the first one I wrote down was just a quick interchange between Joanna and her husband, played by Edward Herman, who I love. But she goes, I doubt he's even housebroken. And he's like, just as a throwaway, oh, they housebreak them, don't they? Which is just so funny, and it illuminates like how he looks down on Kurt Russell's character, but it's just such a funny line to me. I giggled immediately, and that happens within the first 5 minutes of the movie, but it's like bam, 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 bam from there.
Okay, Matt, let's go to you. Lines that stick out for you in this movie?
The only line that sticks out to me is when Joanna's husband, when she finally returns to the yacht and discovers what he's been up to. Doesn't he say something about I've been something with painted ladies,
whacking the donkey
with painted ladies.
Painted ladies.
I'm sorry to say that that's the only line that sticks with me out of this. I've seen this movie probably 58 times, and that's the only reason that I continue. Don't get me wrong, I'll watch the film. I watched it a million times. I stick around for that line, and usually when I get there, it's less satisfying every time I hear it. I don't know why that sticks with me.
The movie's almost over, too, by the time you get to that.
Yeah, it's almost over. Maybe that's why I dig that line.
Jeff, give me your favorite line in Overboard.
Caviar should be round and hard and of adequate size, and it should be bursting in your mouth at precisely the right moment. And if somebody had a tape measure, click.
Nice.
I mean, there's a bunch of them, but
Jessica, your favorite line?
Oh boy, I think I really like the part when the butler just is talking with Joanna, and he's like, you've had the rare privilege of escaping your perspective and seeing a different perspective, because then it's like, oh, that's nice, that feels good, because she's like been kidnapped, and we talked about the creepiness of that, but it's like, oh yeah, she got to see another perspective. So it's kind of a nice little note in there.
I like it. All right, I'm going to unmute this party animal. I'm
sorry.
Can you remember any lines?
I think anytime she braids Kurt Russell is awesome, because it reminds me of Mike Zapsik. He's always getting braided by his wife, or like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Anytime like Susie braids Jeff Garland, like I just love it when men get emasculated, and but I think it might have started with them in 1987 for sure. But it cracked me up so hard when dudes just get yelled at by their wives, and it's like dude, like man up. But it's not it's cedar or whatever. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Cedar.
That doesn't happen to me, of course. but
No,
I like.
Doesn't happen to any guy.
Yeah,
you've got Debbie
like
Chan
my-
in line.
I mean, so I would have you think, but yeah, that's not true at all. You know, you only see what you see on like social media with him. You know, behind closed doors, yeah, she's cracking the whip for sure.
Okay, Steve Fodor.
You're so goddamn bored, you gotta invent things to bitch about. I'm not bored. I'm quite happy. Everyone wants to be me. Yeah, but what's your favorite line? Oh, is that her? No, I've never seen her before in my life. Gotcha.
Yeah, you guys. Grant had an opportunity to make sure this kidnapping did not occur, and he passed up that chance.
To go with
So
the
blame
pink-
Grant. Grant's the villain of this movie, not Dean Prophet. Melissa, favorite line?
Oh man, I should have known we were going to be quizzed. I am not good at this.
Yeah, Jeff was supposed to tell you you'd be quizzed.
Oh, he failed.
Surprise.
He failed me terribly.
All
but
right, I will skip you then, and if you
Okay.
think of something,
I have something though. It's not much of a line, but this like sums up my life as a mom and like an entrepreneur and just like how crazy I am. And it's that moment when she's sitting on the chair or couch or whatever, and the kids are throwing popcorn or bits at her, and she's just.
it's not
That's
popcorn,
me.
it's grapes.
Oh, grapes. That's what it is.
She
yeah.
needs food.
And then like we have a
Needs
falsetto
food.
child about the Pee Wee Herman one.
Which is a good time to point out that this broadcast is brought to you by grapes. When she needs food, throw them at her.
Jessica's got the right idea.
There you
Oh,
go.
you have wine?
Right on.
Maybe Jessica's the first one to break out multiple beverages. Or is that the same thing you were drinking? Oh, okay.
Hydrating, not hydrating.
Proof that I don't know what bubbly actually looks like. Or
Oh, Ming's got beer.
Oh, wait.
Yay, beer.
Ming, what's your drink, Ming?
This is some kind of strawberry something that it's local to Tampa,
Ooh.
and yeah, it's very good. It's not strawberry, it's
Florida
strawberry.
is known for that.
It's
oranges.
from a brewery called Breckenridge. So
Ooh.
yeah,
I love Breckenridge.
Breckenridge is in
I'm sorry.
Colorado. Just kidding. But it is.
Yeah,
Steve, what are you drinking, by the way? I didn't.
Leinenkugel's. This is the grapefruit shandy, which is very rare nowadays. You have to buy a 12-pack of
Yeah.
random beer and throw 6 of them away to get grapefruit shandy.
Jeff, are you drinking the
I
highlight?
got Dr. Pepper Zero tonight.
Oh,
They didn't even have that in the movie. They had Coca-Cola. Okay.
I don't like Coke.
They had so many different brands, though. They
You
had
think I like Miller High Life? You sack.
I can't bring myself to drink that kind of cheap beer. Sorry.
Matt reacted very adversely to somebody hating Coca-Cola. Is there anything to that?
No, it was a judgment that I was making, a character judgment. I haven't had soda in 6 years.
Oh, what do you drink? What do you have on you right now?
San Pellegrino.
On me, nothing. I had
San
one
Pellegrino.
margarita at dinner, and then
Oh,
on
I
the
like
way
those
back,
bottles.
I had a bowl of absinthe.
I'll do it.
Just with a straw, just a straw and a bowl. I don't even
Who hasn't said their favorite line besides me? Dames, go ahead.
When he goes, you should have told her, Dad. And then he goes, I do, you little fucking twerps. But then you told me not. Oh, wait, no. He says, she just would have left sooner. Why doesn't he say, I tried to tell her, but you told me not to? Or you lied?
Do you
When he
not
kept-
want them? Do you
He
not
tried
want
to
the
tell her
movie to
before.
exist?
He's like, I'm trying to tell her, and the kids are like, oh, she's our mom. What are you talking about? And then like 5 minutes later, he's like, you should have told her, Dad. I'll be like, fuck you, you brat. I tried.
He's been doing that his whole life to them. Okay.
Hasn't worked so far.
All right. So there's plenty of lines that you guys didn't bring up.
So we all failed.
Yeah, you all suck. But thank you.
I have a
Thank
seat
you.
over
I've got
here.
more.
Sorry.
Andrew, I'll have a beer.
Dad, they're making me drink blood. That's Joe, the little kid Joe. One of the few things he doesn't say in the voice of Pee Wee
Falsetto
Herman.
child.
Yes, a falsetto child. He thinks he's Pee Wee Herman. Have a
For
good
no
Pee Wee Herman
reason.
impersonation. I actually want to hear Ming. Ming, I want to hear your Pee Wee Herman. He's
He
frozen.
looks frozen.
Frozen.
Oh man.
He's
Oh,
pretending
there
to
he
be-
is.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Do you
I'm working on it.
do you do a Pee Wee Herman impersonation, Paul Rubens?
Do it.
Yeah, just I mean, I want to make a joke about getting caught in the theater, but yeah, no. He's a respectable member of society now. He's paid his debts, and I wish he would have discovered the internet way before he got caught for sure. So
There you go.
I've met the man at a con though. He's a great guy. So yeah, he made a mistake. I'm not gonna judge him for that. Well, maybe a little bit. I'll judge him a little bit.
All right, now I have a Joe line. Not Joanna, but Joe the little kid. Who wants to say it in a Pee Wee Herman voice? Matt Geiler, go ahead.
Okay.
Gotta say, she needs food.
Okay. She needs food.
Yes. Yes.
So
She
good.
needs food, Francis.
Yes.
Ooh, there you go.
Snaps for Matt.
Say, I'm a short, fat slut as Pee Wee Herman.
Daddy, I'm a short, fat slut.
This is funnier when you guys are wasted. I promise.
How many beers have you had?
Dana, what's that can? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Wiseacre India Pale Ale.
Ooh.
You live in
Whoa.
Tennessee,
I do. It's
Fancy.
local.
Golden Shores of Tennessee.
Yeah, the third coast, which we're literally landlocked, but
Oh, so are we here. Okay. Any other favorite lines that weren't said?
I got a couple.
It's a
No, I'm
bug.
still tacky.
All right, you guys, it's time to play Total Recast.
For the memory of a lifetime, recast, recast, recast.
God, that never gets old. Okay.
It's amazing.
Pretend you're a casting director and you need to recast Overboard. Either the original movie, so you get a choice here. Either recast the original movie or pretend like you're casting a reboot, not the 2017 or whatever, but a new one for 2021, completely fresh. And we're going to go one by one and give me your casting choice. I'm going to start with Steve Fodor because he said he nailed this.
I nailed this, Dane.
Okay, so go.
If it's 2021, we need the comedy legendary bitch and her very close, very true love. We need Chrissy Teigen and John Legend.
Wow.
How about that? That's a movie I would watch.
I like it.
What's this budgeted at? Give me your budget.
Well, depends. Do we just film it in their house? Is this just a talking cat version of this movie where the two of them just live in their house and we film them be pretending to be kidnapped? Which one is kidnapped in that scenario? Is John Legend kidnapped by Chrissy Teigen? That might be actually accurate.
I like it. All right, Ming. I don't know if you knew that this was coming, but do you have a recasting choice?
Yes, I'm for Goldie Hawn. I'm stuck between Kate Hudson, of course, the updated version of Goldie Hawn, or Lady Gaga. I think Gaga would because she kills everything.
Yes.
God, the Kurt Russell part though, I that's where I'm stuck on. I want to kind of put in The Rock because he's awesome at everything, and yeah, for sure. But Kurt Russell's
Rock gets kidnapped.
still alive. Yeah, Kurt Russell's still alive, but that would be weird if Kate Hudson was a Goldie Hawn role. So we can't do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with The Rock, and I'm gonna go with Lady Gaga. I think my final answer.
I like it because I truly believe that The Rock could build this. Okay, so Dana, I told you this was coming, that we do a total recast. Do you have one?
Yeah, I did not do the leads.
That's fine. Any role is up for grabs.
Good. I've got two, though. So I was obsessed with Joanna's mom. I thought she was just a great character. And so I thought maybe someone a little bit more quirky or flighty would be really fun in that role. So someone like Joan Rivers or Elaine Stritch, I could see playing that role. And then the best friend, the Billy Pratt, really all I could see was John Candy. That he was like a John Candy knockoff to me, that actor. So just get the real thing.
He was supposed to be cast in that role, wasn't he?
He was.
I think they were looking at him for that, and then he was making, I think it was like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles during that time.
So Dana, you guys, just to recap, wants the entire Spaceballs cast to be in Overboard.
We could even set it in space. That would be funny too.
Yeah, it would still be Overboard, right?
Be Overboard,
yeah, it really would.
Way more complicated though.
Yeah. Okay. Who do I want to go to here? Jessica, you look ready to go.
Oh boy. Well, I was also going to say Kate Hudson, just because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like she can do it,
They look similar these days.
They look similar. I've seen her play a very sassy character, and so I feel like she has that good comedic sass that you need for that role. And then I don't know if it's just because they were in a movie together like 10 years ago and there was water involved, but I'm going to say Hey, because they had like a Fool's Gold movie, I think it was, together. And I think that they have a natural comedic back and forth.
Were they both in Failure to Launch? I saw that in the theater.
Yeah, maybe that one.
I wanted to shoot myself.
Wait, were they in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
They were. They've been in a lot together. So it's basically like they're, a couple. So that'll be my pick.
Oh, real quick here, we've got Iggy's favorite line. Oh, a washing machine. But Dean, it's so expensive. No shit. He also said that, James, you're killing that piss water beer.
It's killing me, buddy.
And you guys aren't the only Hudson ones, but nobody mentioned Wyatt Russell, his son, as
siblings.
Dean.
It's rumored that Wyatt Russell took his first steps.
That would be disgusting. You're right.
Yeah.
On this, say that again.
It's rumored that Wyatt took his first steps on the original set of Overboard. Like he was there hanging out. So that might be fate if he played the role.
Were the steps overboard?
I hope not.
Hopefully he was wearing a life jacket.
Yeah, one can only hope.
Can we edit this? Can we edit this?
It's too late for that.
Jessica, just so you know, your casts when I was making the serious inquiries, those are the two that I picked as well.
What?
So,
oh my gosh. Mine
just wants to go for a total recast. Oh, Melissa. Hook us up.
I don't know, man. I hate this. I just these movies I just love. Yeah, fuck this. No. I just love these movies so much as they
Blow the whole thing up.
Paul Rudd. because I love Paul Rudd.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, he did all right.
Paul Rudd as Joanna. Great casting.
Yes.
choice.
Yes.
Check it out, you guys. This broadcast is brought to you by Project Nerd and SpaghettiOs.
You
You
got
gotta
the
have the Ritz, or it's not real. It's not real SpaghettiO surprise, which is right here.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Being consumed by Mike Haggerty, who Dana just absolutely hates.
It's just a John Candy knockoff. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah.
order on
he's
Wish.
such a great
Oh.
character actor. He's in just so many great things, Dana.
Okay,
Well,
well, Belushi.
He's a friend of the
Belushi
show,
played that
too.
role.
So shame on you. He's a friend of the show. Dane
Well,
Jones.
it's problematic that you said that, Dana, because my producer just got in touch with me and told me that we have to play this now.
Hello, I'd like to give a shout out to CF3 TV. My name is Mike Haggerty, and I played Bad Billy Pratt in the cult classic Overboard. Overboard was released in 1987. Also at that time, batteries not included. Overboard was successful years later when Ted Turner bought the MGM film library and shown it on his networks almost every other day. Many people have come up to me and told me that it's one of their favorite movies and they grew up on it, and I'm very pleased with that. I suppose on a scale of 1 to 100, I would say that Overboard is probably up there in the high 80s. It's got everything. It's got Goldie and Kurt, of course, and it's got the kids for the kids, and a lot of humor and a lot of pathos. So I'm really proud of it. And everybody always asks me how Gertie's doing. Well, Gertie and Billy are doing just fine. But if you come around and you see the trailer rocking, don't come a knocking.
Oh, no, you have the 10th guest. I wasn't prepared for a 10th guest. I got more M&Ms. There's more M&Ms in the bag. There you go. Jeez.
Dana, he used the word pathos. Do you still want to recast him?
No, keep him forever. I love him so much.
That was so
My mind
sweet.
is completely changed. I'm a horrible person. See myself out.
Well,
You still have
we
feelings
accomplished
for
our
Billy.
goal.
Who hasn't total recasted yet?
Dane.
Okay, Jeff. Hook us up.
I go a little more new school for this because I love the cast of the original, especially Roddy McDowell as the butler. He was also executive producer, so I was really happy for his small part that he had actually a very important part. But in the new one, I'd go Chloe Moretz and Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh, kick-ass people. Those are some kick-ass casting choices. I didn't notice that Roddy was an exec producer. That's awesome.
Yep.
Listed as the only executive producer, but IMDb says that Goldie Hawn threw in some money too, but she just didn't want her name on the credits.
Was that because she was supposed to be 29? How long did it take him to say 29? You can count. There's like 5 beats before he says she's 29 years old. And she was 42 at the time of filming. She's 75 now, you guys.
No way.
She looked great for 42, by the way.
But that any husband could be like, oh shit, how old's my wife? You know, I just feel like that's not that.
Why
big
do you
a deal.
think he settled on 29?
I don't know, but they were together 13 years at least, so that's kind of weird.
You're a married guy. That's the official answer. How old do I look? Oh, you look 29.
I like it.
There you go, Jeff.
I'm good with that.
Okay, next in the total recast order while I'm on bathroom break, so don't mess this up, you guys.
Too late.
We're going to go Matt and then Dames, and then hopefully I'll be back by then.
Your
But,
bladder is ridiculous. Go ahead, Matthew.
I'm 5 beers into the whole 6-pack of flat Miller High Life. Okay.
It's flat. Okay. My thing was I wanted to recast the original, and the only way, honestly, for me to do that is to take the entire cast of Cocoon, transplant it to Overboard. In the 2 lead roles, you've got Wilford Brimley and you've got Jessica Tandy. You got Brian Dennehy as Bad Billy Pratt. You got You got Hume Cronin as
Andrew
Andrew Butler. And I think you throw Steve Guttenberg in there for just to young it out a little bit. And
Just do
have
another
him,
bigger movie.
To young it
have
out.
him just pop up as one of the golf execs or something. Have some fun with it. Just tear it up, mix it up. That's what I'd love to do.
The old Steve Guttenberg cameo. That is.
You love me some Steve Guttenberg.
I was afraid was gonna sound stupid, but now
I did that for you.
Might as well just take
All
the
right.
cast of Tremors and put that in it.
So
Kevin
Just
Bacon.
as well.
Yeah.
Fred Ward.
Reba can play the mom, the grandma, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yes.
Michael Gross, yeah.
Stockpiling weapons.
I'm back. Did Dames cast Michael J. Fox yet? Because he always does.
no.
No, we were having a good
I'm
time without you.
gonna throw you a curveball, Dane.
It was a much
All right.
better show for a while.
My recast: Goldie Hawn, Jessica Hotman, resident actress with the group. I'm going to give you John Hamm as the leading man. I'm going to give you John Hamm as the leading
All
man.
right.
I'm going to give you Matt Geiler as Bad Billy Pratt. I'm going to give you Dane, Jeff, Ming, and myself as kids.
Sweet.
Who gets to be Joe Pee Wee Herman?
That would be Ming, for sure. Because his impression was so amazing.
Can I be Jared Rushton?
You can be Roy.
Kid
I'm
from
Travis.
Big, you guys. That's the
Clearly,
kid
I'm
from
Travis.
Big.
And then Mojo, you can be the teacher that didn't believe them about being with poison ivy or whatever.
No, I hate her the most.
I know that.
I am Gertie.
Melissa is definitely Gertie.
You
Yes.
take the roles you're given.
I will be rocking. I'll be rocking all up in that trailer park.
Well, all right.
That's fine.
Well, Matt,
I will-
since you're Bad Billy Pratt, you can choose between Dana and Mojo for Gertie. It's up to you, buddy.
I can play the teacher, or I want to be the mom who gets to sit around and be the
Catherine,
mom.
Oh, yeah.
let's
All
put
right.
her in Catherine Hillman's
Okay.
role.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, I like it. And then I think Fodes is you can be a fifth kid.
I can't be Roddy McDowell because I've been training all my life to be on the planet of the
Voter should be Andrew.
You know what? You can be Grant.
Oh, all right. Another great
So-
character actor.
So she's leaving you for John Hamm. I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Then he gets a
Good move,
tofuti.
Good move.
Tofuti. Oh,
Yeah.
tofuti.
I would cast Ming as this scene stealer right here.
There you go. What was with that?
Hell of a
stuff?
dance scene,
Is
sir.
that a producer's kid or something? Because what was with that character?
I
Look at
wondered
him.
about that. Yeah.
Look at that jaw.
Man overboard is kissing woman overboard, sir.
She's wearing an evening dress, sir.
The kids
How is that
in the
pertinent
film.
to the rescue effort?
And the guy with the arrows is being taken onto the other ship, sir.
Yeah. I got the job, and in
He's like, I
2021,
got
it's
it.
okay to wear a dress. It's okay to wear a dress now. 2021.
There you go.
Right.
Oh, man. These
Okay,
beers.
my total recast, just to get this out of the way, is I would recast Grant. Don't get me wrong, Edward Herman was pretty good in the role.
Mhm.
He also plays a jerk in the original film version of Annie,
Mhm.
alongside Carol Burnett. But I really would have liked to see Michael McKean play that role. And I think he would have done an amazing job.
Agreed.
And by the way, I thought it would make sense to me as an adult now. And I thought when I originally saw this, okay, I just don't understand this because I'm a kid. What the hell is he doing here?
He's drunk. And his little VHS stash is sitting right next to him, too.
Like it's
I didn't get it as
beautiful.
an adult until just now.
Conch never tells.
Oh my god.
And Dane, you gave me an idea just to pivot on for a second. Is instead of for Grant, John Larroquette.
He's good too.
Mm.
He's good too. I just wanted a slightly bigger name.
Right.
And both those guys would be able to play, total jerks. Total rich, snobbish jerks
Yep.
who whack the donkey with painted ladies.
Joe Foodie.
So we're gonna do our we're getting into our final segment here, and we're gonna start with Ming on this one because he's done here. He's done.
He's
But,
trying to leave that bar.
So Ming,
He needs a
we're gonna
real
ask
drink
you-
now.
Unmute yourself real quick here, Ming. You're muted.
Sorry.
Okay. So we're gonna ask you to score this for our patented cult filmometer on a scale of 0 to 100 as a cult classic, or you can, say, oh, this is what I rated on every movie scale. You've done this before. You've done this with Karate Kid, Enter the Dragon, Clerks, and Mallrats with us previously, so you know what to do.
I'm gonna give it a solid 48.
48.
It's not one that I watch. It's like, oh, I'm gonna watch this like once a year or once every 2 years, maybe once every 5 years, perhaps. So yeah, I can't rate it as high as say Karate Kid, or Lost Boys, or or for sure. Yeah, I gotta give it like just below 50 though. I give it a 48. I mean, it does have its merits though. They did remake it. It was I guess the Koreans loved it so much that they had to remake it into a TV show.
Yeah.
Could they update it for 2021? I suppose, but I don't know. I gotta give it right at 48 though. Right below left the Mendoza line, right below 50.
So what if we added one credit to the film and it said directed by Kevin Smith? Then what would you rate it?
I think Kevin would do it, but there would be so many like dick and fart jokes in it that we would elevate. It would elevate it to a 72 for sure. Ben Affleck would be the Kurt Russell character. Rosario.
They go to Rug Munchers.
Yeah, they call Rug Munchers. Rosario Dawson would be Goldie Hawn for sure.
Oh.
And it would be way better. We have to throw Brian O'Halloran and Michael Rooker in there somewhere. Some kind of cameo by Stan Lee, even though he's no longer with us. Kevin will figure out how to do it for sure.
Stanley's ghost as Andrew. All right, Ming, we're going to let you go. Thank you for the 48, I think.
Love you, brother. Love you, buddy.
Thanks,
See you
man.
soon.
Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing.
Bye, Ming.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you on the,
CF3 for
on the
life. Thank you,
convention
guys.
circuit.
See you in
Thank
Colorado
you.
Springs,
Thank you.
hopefully. Okay. So that was Ming's score is 48. Personally, that's brutal to me. I think it's a brutal score. But somebody who was actually in the movie gave it high 80s. Mike Haggerty, I don't know if you caught that. He gave his score already. And what are you guys comfortable saying is high 80s means? 88?
7 or 88.
87?
87.
Go with the year of the movie, 87.
87 for Mike Haggerty. Okay, we're logging that score. And then we're moving on to Dana. Give us your final thoughts and a score for the Cult Filmometer for Overboard.
So I'm kind of going to agree with Ming's sentiments where I think it is a classic, but will it stand the test of time? I don't know. For me personally, I think I had seen the beginning of the movie on like basic cable and then never really seen the full thing. So it was an enjoyable experience and it was really funny, but I just don't see it up there like other cult classics. So I gave it a 60, where it's pretty good, but is it one of the best? I don't think so.
Okay, we got 60. Let's go with Matt. Hook us up with your Kurt Russell thoughts.
While Kurt Russell is a favorite and his chemistry with Goldie Hawn is undeniable, certain shortcomings of the film, chief among them the drawings, the drawings for the golf course, the abominable draft.
They were terrible.
The execution of the golf course, terrifying, both to young children and
doesn't do it for you.
I just have a picture of racks of cocktail napkins and little to no attention paid to wardrobe in general. I also must assume there were no craft services on this film. while I have watched it many times, if there are more important things to do around the house, I will do them. I'm not going to shut it off. I'm going to leave it on in the background, but I will attend to business in ways that I won't if a stronger film comes on. I'm going to therefore give it a 71. But 11 of those points are charitable, and they're for the kids, because I don't think that should have been put through that. I think the kids' characters obviously were caught in the crosshairs of two insane adults, and I can only assume that production was close to that in reality. So I'm giving it 11 points for the kids. Otherwise, I'm right in line with Dana.
Okay. That's the right thing to do. Just give those kids some extra points.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a point of clarification, though. I don't want to correct you, but there were craft services on this film. It was craft with a K. It consisted of macaroni and cheese with broken up hamburger in it every day. That's the Oregon coast way of living, Matt Geiler.
You'd know if you were us.
Jeff, you got to help the score for this thing. We're tanking here fast. We're capsizing. We're taking on water.
I'll see what I can do. I love this movie as a kid. It was right up there with like Big Trouble in Little China. As an adult, it doesn't really age as well. I watched it for the first time in a couple of years last night, so I enjoyed it. I felt it was a bit long. I don't think everything ages very well. Chemistry's fine. The acting's fine. Story's a little all over the place, but at least it stays relatively consistent. Kids have a good message in this. I actually relate to them more as the movie wore on. They actually are the glue that pulled everything together at the end. I didn't think it was more Goldie and Kurt. That was there since the beginning. So I thought the kids pulled it together, and Roddy put the exclamation point on it. So for the Roddy role, and for the surprise cameo from Hector Elizondo early on as the Portuguese scowl captain, I'm going to give this an 84.
84. I knew I recognized that guy. I just didn't know.
Oh yeah.
How or why.
The second I saw him, I'm like, I never knew that was him until I saw it this time. I'm like, oh my God, that's always been Hector Elizondo. That's great.
Did you see what Rachel said in the chat? I legit expected a lower score after all that.
Nope.
Wait, Mike Sebi thinks it's a 32, by the way.
Wow. Mike Sebi.
Iggy's giving it a 60. For the chat, your scores don't factor into the Cult Filmometer, just so you know.
You actually got to be on this show.
Once you get the invite to the major leagues, then you score.
Otherwise, it's back to the minor leagues, Major League 3 for you.
So
Stay on the bench.
So Dana, you can tell Rachel to keep her score to herself because she had an opportunity to be on this as well.
Yeah, Rachel, shut up.
Rachel.
You short what? Slut? What's the
Yeah, no. I was about to, but I edited myself.
Don't do it.
Oh God.
I love you guys.
Okay. Who's next? Who wants to go next?
Somebody's.
I'll take
Melissa. No, Melissa, go.
Oh, okay there.
I wasn't told this would be part of it. Box.
I know.
It's somebody never been on the show before.
No, I just okay. Here's the deal. The last time I knew exactly what I would score it, right? Like I knew where that movie lived. This one, I really love this movie, but it doesn't live where I would like it to live. It's not that high up.
Death Squad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Too much fun.
Definitely not that. Very few things are that. Really.
Thank God.
We're special in that way. one could say. No, okay. I think it is a good movie. I think there's some fun acting. I think there's some fun jokes. As far as like a cult classic, I don't think it has that following just as big. It gets played a lot on TV all the time, but that doesn't mean that it has just like that really hardcore fan following. I think it's a great movie. I'd love to score it higher. And it's gotten more popular over time, I think, since it was released, but I'd give it a 67-ish.
Okay.
Give or take. I don't know.
67. You actually don't get to say give or take. You have to give a precise.
No, I'm giving you give or take, and you're going to take
That's how this works. You have to get
out.
Mike Haggerty to be vague. Okay.
Dane,
Do
you
some
must be
math
new
over
here.
there. Figure it out. I don't know, man. This is hard. I don't want to hate on a movie that I love, but it's true. It's not as cult classic as it's just not in that category as high up. No matter how much I love the movie.
Steve, give us the lowdown about this film.
Gary Marshall directed this film between Nothing in Common 1986 and Beaches 1988. There's music by Alan Silvestri. It's written by Leslie Dixon, who is the screenwriter for Mrs. Doubtfire, Pay It Forward, and Hairspray, the 2007 musical version. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell are adorable. This is like the take it off the shelf and show the kids the pictures of their love movie. Jared Rushton, the kid who played Charlie, went on to play Billy in Big the next year, 1988. Catherine Hellman, who was in the middle of Who's the Boss in this. This is her time to shine. Hector Elizondo is there, and Roddy McDowell executive produced and didn't have to wear an ape costume for once in his life. His son Caesar did, but that's a whole nother movie. That's a totally different conversation. This movie had all the ingredients like Ritz crackers and SpaghettiOs. It didn't taste very good. This is a 45.
Whoa.
Oh.
Talk about after all of that.
Yeah.
It had everything going for it.
I was
It
gonna
had
say-
everything going for it, and it just did not give us the
We all have
entertainment value
IMDb
of all of those
Get to
pieces.
your fucking score. That's what I was going to say.
I don't know how I feel about that.
45? You son of a bitch.
I didn't like
Can we
this movie
replace-
this time.
Can we
didn't like
replace-
this movie this time? I do not like this movie. Sam,
Can we replace Steve's score with Mike Sebi's wife's score?
Lisa Sebi.
Classic.
Look at him.
Shark flesh.
You must be new here.
You thought it was a left turn, but it was a U-turn is what Steve did there.
it was a fake
Like
out. It
a
was a fake
roller
out movie.
coaster. He's
That was a
building,
roundabout.
and a drop.
Fake out.
U-turn, the very next film we're going to do on a Partycast. No, that's not happening. Dames, you got to help this
Yeah.
film out. We're
Well,
drowning here.
Folks,
Film
I
Overboard.
mean,
Oh, no way.
Oh.
Well, you look so
yeah,
pretty
I'm a-
tonight.
I didn't know
I'm
you
a
had to look
Chilean
at
now.
that.
Whoa, Jim Dandy to the rescue.
right. So, fuck all y'all. I grew up with this film. Kurt Russell is the greatest actor of all time, professional mullet, and a common law wife. What I mean,
Kurt Russell,
what are you
are
guys
my
missing that I'm seeing? I feel like I watched the greatest movie in the world, and you guys watched something else completely.
The dude calls The Shining the perfect movie. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, it is, but here's the thing. This is me really drunk, actually. But what I wanted to say is we all have spoons that we haven't used yet, and I'm holding my spoon here. But the connection between these characters is real.
Thanks for the reminder.
It's on screen, documented. It's beautiful. It's not a cult classic. We used a movie that we could have girls participate in. Girls don't like nerd-ass fucking movies that we talk about usually. So,
What?
Wait.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We're on Project Nerd.
Wow.
There's
But this is
lots
how we
of
get
women
canceled.
on this.
this canceled? We are the ones that would cancel ourselves. I give this movie a straight up 88. And that's the high so far, I believe.
Yes, it is. It is by
No
one.
doubt.
Brilliant film, greatest actor of all time.
And I give you a review a 0.
I love you too.
Yeah.
I took
I was
notes because
confused with everything that just got said. It's like, I love this movie. I love this movie. We really only did it because it's only girls like movies. I give it an 88.
I just realized.
I don't know how you feel.
He's complex.
According to Renee Corcoran, somebody is sexist. I don't know who that is.
I wouldn't know who that is either.
Billy Ray.
He's always
Bad boy Billy.
Are for everyone. Romance is for everyone.
Yeah.
And also women, not girls, women can like all sorts of different things.
Right. So I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about girls.
What if they're
Like
14?
girls.
Can't they
Stop
still
while
be
you're
girls?
ahead, Dane.
Dane,
You still have to
in
score
your
this.
Dane, box. Do you have a
No,
shovel?
actually, Jessica still needs
Someone
to go.
bury
I
me.
realized.
Someone bury me.
Should I dive in now? Is this the right
Yes.
time?
Dive in head first, and you have to say, what's the guy's name when you jump in?
Oh,
Geronimo?
From the myth?
Oh, Arturo?
Arturo. You got to say
Arturo.
Arturo
Oh, I
before
already
you.
forgot about this bad
It
news.
can't get any worse.
all right. So I'm torn inside because I think that there's a lot of charm in this film. I think that, just a side note, I love Goldie Hawn's outfits at the beginning. I know that doesn't really matter super much, but I like her
Yes, it
style.
does.
And I think that she's a confident woman. She's a little, edgy, but I like that she doesn't take any shit. So I kind of like that about her. I think you do have a classic, somebody from a rich, wealthy upbringing, seeing the other side, which I think is always nice in a film when there's that reversal of perspective. So I like that. I do think it's really cool that Kurt Russell and Goldie are an actual couple, and you can see that chemistry on screen. So there's a lot of good there. With that being said, I rewatched this movie recently, and the first half of it in particular, I was very creeped out by the storyline. I found it very creepy, and it's kind of like a worst fear for me. It's like a nightmare in a way. So I don't like that aspect of it. So I went ahead and gave this a 62 for my
62.
and that's that.
See, I feel you. That's exactly kind of like where my head is at. Like, I want to love it. It's got a place somewhere, but it's not a high cult classic by any means.
Yeah, it's no Lost
As
Boys.
much as I like it.
Do you think that before they did the remake, they did like some kind of test screening of women, and we're like,
Yes,
this
it was
is
1,000%.
And they
Yes.
failed.
Can we get away with this? And they're like, oh, dude, you got to switch the roles at the very least. Because, I mean, it is creepy as shit. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes moms leave.
I know that was so sad too.
Sometimes.
I would take like Death Becomes Her as a Goldie Hawn cult
Yes.
classic.
Yeah.
Because I
Yes.
like this one, but that's more of a, in the cult classic category.
Yes.
She did one with
love
Steve
that.
Martin too, as the housekeeper.
The House Sitter. House Sitter.
Thank you.
I used to watch that interchangeably with
Yep.
this movie, like all the time.
Even
What
Fred
about
Benjamin.
I'm sure this crowd has, but I used to watch The Man with Two Brains
Mhm.
all
Yes.
the time. That was
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Hafar.
Yeah.
Wow. I now see an apology is in order. You guys do like nerd-ass movies. My bad.
Don't judge a book by its cover. That's like the first thing you learn in kindergarten.
I didn't go to kindergarten.
He was out that day.
All right, Dan, you want to reel us in and give us your star?
Well, I was drunk until I started hearing these sobering scores for Overboard, a film that I watched all throughout childhood because there was many years when we did not have. We lived in such a small town you couldn't even get cable there, and so we had just the ABC station that came through on antenna, and we had recorded like 5 years worth of HBO movies onto VHS tapes and watched all those during those years. And Overboard was on there. And so, like Mike Seby's wife, this is like a movie that, like, I'm not going to say it formed who I am because I haven't kidnapped that many people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Made them believe that they were my wife.
Always said yes at the end.
Many.
It's in the single digits. But
Katie, if you need help, let us know.
I still really like it, and I think it's hilarious, but I don't know that this movie is going to last like decades longer because, like Mike Haggerty told us, this was a staple of TBS and TNT when Ted Turner first acquired those. And so you would see it on TV all the time. But now everybody subscribes to different streaming services. I bet you between the 8 of us here, we all like have way different subscriptions for things and are therefore seeing way different programming. Like, and unless you own MGM's library, like on your streaming service that you're subscribing to, you're not going to see those. So I don't think it's gonna endure, but I still really like it, and I'm gonna give it like a 89, which is just barely the highest score of the night. And then, you know what that means, you guys?
That girl must have more than one.
Cult Filmometer.
If you don't, you're about to find out.
You see, pure stupid minds, stupid.
You really thought I'd have it figured out by then.
This is the best movie.
It's a 70.1 on the Cult Filmometer.
Yay!
What? 1.
Rachel predicted it because of Kurt Russell's dimples.
Yes.
70.1.
Those
Makes that the lowest film we've ever rated, below Howard the Duck.
Really?
Since we started the video format.
You guys rated Howard the Duck too high, I feel.
Wait, though.
I rated it lower than that, actually.
I did too.
I don't think all cult classics are like really great movies necessarily, right? We're rating this on the cult scale, like the cultability, I guess. I don't know. Is that a word?
Yeah, but everybody has their own way of interpreting that.
Like, I wouldn't rate Howard Duck as a good movie, but I would say it's got a pretty decent like cult behind it of people. Like in that aspect. I would rate this as a better movie than that, but I don't know.
Hi, Courtney.
Oh,
it's a classic.
The cue from Project Nerd says it's Jeff Bezos' favorite film. It's the real reason why Amazon bought MGM.
Just for Overboard.
That acquisition, by the way, made me very sad.
This movie lost points because they sung ZZ Top's Legs without saying the word legs. How do you do that?
The only band that matters is the band that did Jim Dandy to the Rescue. Okay.
Agreed.
And this is the hair from that band.
Still, it's live, real human hair.
Straight up.
Literally straight up.
Okay, any parting words? Who wants to promote something? First of all. Okay, Dana.
Okay.
Wait, let's do this. I'm gonna see if I can do this.
Okay.
Big promo.
I want everyone here to listen to Murder, She Joked on Project Nerd starting July 6th. Tuesday, July 6th. We're coming. So listen to our show. We need more listeners.
And if you're watching this now, you have no excuse for saying that you didn't know it was coming because you're a Project Nerd fan. So
and we're an improvised untrue crime podcast.
Nice. So my wife listens to Crime Junkie, and she likes comedy, so she'd love this show.
Yes, if you like true crime podcasts and you like to laugh, and you like to laugh about things maybe you shouldn't laugh about, then listen to us. That wasn't
like kidnapping, because it wasn't so funny to you tonight.
Yeah, kidnapping.
Jessica, you're up. Promote something.
Hello. I just want to say thank you so much for having me be a part of this. This was a blast. You guys are all fun, and I hope I do this again in the future. I will promote on June 25th. We have trailer number 2 for the fan film Roseblood dropping and coming out. So you can stay in touch on social media to find the trailer there on June 25th. And
that's awesome. And that's again a Friday the 13th fan film.
Friday the 13th
and she
fan
is
film.
and she is playing a version of Tina Shepard from Friday the 13th Part 7.
Yes. So,
originally played by Lara Park Lincoln.
Yes.
Steve, what do you got going on besides school's out for summer?
TooMuchScrolling.com is our network for all of our podcasting. Our current show is called Sandwiches at Irregular Hours. It's a book club podcast. We've got really smart people who come in and read books, and then Chip and I wonder what they're talking about. It's a great way to get education in the summer, kids. You can learn so much by learning not to listen to Chip and I talk about books. It's a fun show. Pam Bedore from the University of Connecticut is a genius, and she puts up with us and kind of smirks and smiles and kind of shakes her head and walks away. Sandwiches at irregularhours.com, TooMuchScrolling.com.
And hitting that subscribe button for them is the only way to know that you should unsubscribe. Matt Geiler, you're up.
I have something important to promote tonight, you guys. I want to promote the general well-being. I want to promote goodwill betwixt men and women everywhere. I want to promote sustainability. I'd like to promote several people to positions I have no access or control to. And most importantly, I'd like to promote everybody who appeared on this show into the swollen category of my new best friends. So congratulations. In the same apartment complex.
Raise the roof. Let's see, you're up. I wasn't told this was going to be part of it.
I'm out of here. I have nothing. I'm not. Oh, I like that pencil. I have nothing relevant. I'm not relevant. I have nothing going on. I have no life. So I don't know. Go stream Incest Death Squad on Trauma.
Stream Trauma Now, the streaming service, you guys.
Yeah.
And Melissa, I'm going to be meeting Lloyd later this month, and I'm going to be like an extra on a movie with them. So I will be in your.
Dean, why are you promoting
territory.
during Mojo's time? Promote
Because
during
she
your
said
own
that she
damn
has
time.
nothing to promote.
Yeah, I'm not relevant. So that's why I was like, go back to when I was and watch
But
that.
what was the name of the movie that we should check out?
You're so mean.
IDS. Jeff, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
James Mars, where'd you get that wig?
Lord. Amazon.com. It's not real, people. I mean,
It's all been a lie.
You hear that? Amazon for all your Overboard needs. They now own the film. They own the wigs about the film.
fire.
Okay. I think that's going to do it, you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Dean.
Oh.
Do you have the picture of Mike? The winner?
Let me see if I have it.
So,
I don't have it.
You don't have it?
I don't have it, but I'll throw it up here if you talk about it right now. I'll throw it up for the video recording.
Yeah, the Mick Dixon, he won all of our vagina candle sweepstakes. And he finally got the stuff today.
Yay!
Proud winner of the Gwyneth Paltrow real
Vagina
and fake vagina candle.
Which
he actually
smelled terrible, by the way.
made a shrine to it in his house. That's crazy to me.
Oh,
But
okay.
thank you for being a viewer, Mike. We appreciate you. Yeah, it's a creepy video that was one of our first. If you guys want to check it out, it was actually pretty funny. I got hornswoggled into buying the incorrect fake version of the candle, and we did a whole segment on it, and then we were like, "Oh, we got swindled." So I basically spent $200 on this stupid candle. It is what it is.
It doesn't even smell like the right woman.
Okay, you guys, before we roll credits here, I want everybody to say all at the same time in unison because that's so easy to do on a live stream with like 7 different people. And with your spoon over your nose.
Okay, who was the memo about spoons?
You didn't get any memos.
Jeff was supposed to tell you.
Oh!
You got to say the entire civilized world knows that all closets are made of cedar. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The entire cedar.
CF3, have fun that's everlasting, binging on cult films and totally recasting, interviewing stars and making fun of Dave's marks. What's your favorite line and what's your latest cult find? CF3, hey, Dave, Jeff, James, Greg.
I love that.
That was awesome.
Me too.
Fun.